Is a 3D printer worth buying in this day and age, especially now? Well, it depends. There are many pros and cons of having a 3D printer, but it all depends on what your goal with the machine is. Are you an engineer trying to make the next best thing? Or are you just a hobbyist trying to improve their craft and having a bit more fun? Or you could just be someone trying to have fun, making little cool things to share with friends and family. Let's dive in and see if a 3D printer works for you. First off, what is a 3D printer? These are machines that use additive manufacturing to create a three-dimensional object. There are two different types of 3D printers. You have FDM and SLA. In this case, we talk about FDM printers as they're most common on the market and easy to work with. So, back to the main question, why should you want to buy a 3D printer? As I said at the start, you must think of a goal before investing your money into one of the machines, especially if you end up using it only once or twice, then never using it ever again. Then you have a big paperweight lying around doing nothing. Well then, what can you do with these machines and why would you want to use it? They allow you to bring your own ideas to life. Whatever you want, you can design it, build it, and bring it to life using a 3D printer. If you're an engineer, 3D printers are great for prototyping. It allows you to quickly make a part, have the part in your hand and see if it works, if it doesn't work, which allow you to make changes to the part, if need be, very quickly. This cuts down on price of prototyping as you don't have to go through big shops to get the parts just to get an idea of what you're doing. If you're a cosplayer, instead of spending hundreds or thousands of pounds on props, you can make them yourselves at home at a fraction of the cost. These savings allow cosplayers to put more money towards other parts of the cosplay itself. There are many other hobbies that can benefit from 3D printing, such as D&D. You can make your own characters, dungeons and props, all costing a fraction of the price if you're going to buy at retail, as they cost a lot more. But that's not all you can do with 3D printing. A 3D printer can help you cut down on your waste around the house. For example, if parts around the house start breaking, a 3D printer allows you to design and make those parts. This allows you to improve the lifespan of the object as you keep improving it or fixing it with the 3D printer. For example, if a suitcase handle broke, with a 3D printer, you'll be able to design and fix that part, allowing that suitcase to have a longer lifespan instead of throwing away as soon as that object breaks. This keeps less things going into a landfill. However, when it comes to fixing things, you may have to design the parts yourself. But if you can't find the part online, well then that means you have to design it yourself. This may cause some issues, such as some people may not have the skills to use a CAD software. However, if you're willing to learn, it may take you some time, but there are plenty of tutorials out there to help you get into Fusion 360 or CAD softwares. You'll be able to make your own practical 3D prints. But not everyone wants to make their own practical 3D prints, they may want to make their own more aesthetically pleasing 3D prints. If that is the case, you'll want to learn Blender to be able to make whatever you want. A lot of people who are able to make their own designs from using either a CAD or a modeling software, you can share them to the public or you can sell them online. You can do this by yourself by using services such as Etsy. With a service like Etsy, you have a platform to promote your products, which allows it to be easy to sell. The advantage of having a 3D printing business is it allows you to print on demand. You don't need to hold any stock, hold any inventory. It allows you to print whenever a sale comes in. If you keep running your machine constantly, printing and printing and printing, you have to think about how much material you're using and how much is that costing you, as well how much is it going to cost to power the machine for the entire time. As in Europe, power prices have gone up, so you'll be careful with your costs of living. As well, with the printer being in use constantly, there is more chance of the printer having any issues or more wear and tear on the machine itself. If you got a machine such as the Prusa and built it yourself, you may be able to fix these problems quite easily, as you have a basic understanding of how to build and take apart the machine. However, some printers like the NO3, they come pre-built. This means you lose out on understanding where parts of the printer go if anything falls apart or if parts need. Luckily, in the 3D printing community, if there's any problem with your 3D printer, you're most likely not alone, as most people around the world who have 3D printers will probably ask the same questions you do. So if you do get stuck, there are plenty of sources around for you to get help from. Well, in conclusion, should you get a 3D printer? Well, yes and no, really. It all comes down to, will it fit your need and will you get your money's worth out of the machine? If a 3D printer fits your need and you think you get your money's worth out of it, then go ahead, make the investment. However, if you don't think it's going to fit your needs and you're not going to get your money's worth out of it, then I don't think you'll want to waste your money just to have a few printed things laying around the house. But at the end of the day, it is your decision. Well, thank you guys for watching, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please consider leaving a like and hit the subscribe button. And I'll see you all next time.